Lauren here, Children's Librarian from the Half Hollow Hills Community Library, and I'm so excited to share with you this great program today. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Father's Day handprint bowl. So with some simple ingredients and a lot of fun, I'm going to show you how we create the bowl. So stay tuned. So to make the salt dough for our Father's Day handprint bowl, we'll need some materials. We're going to need a large mixing bowl. We're going to need some flour. We'll need some salt. And we're going to need some water. So I already measured 1 cup of water and put it in this cup here. You'll also, it'll be helpful to have a rolling pin. You'll also need a measuring cup of 1 cup. It's also helpful to have a ruler, something sharp that you're going to cut your handprint out of. So something like a knife or a sharp tool. So of course you want to make sure you do that with a grown-up or your adult in your house. And you'll need a bowl. This bowl can be a ceramic bowl that can go in the oven, but it could also be a small bowl or a ball that you can use to place your hand on. So I'll show you that a little bit later in our program. So to get started, we're going to need to measure our ingredients out and put them in a large bowl. So again, we have our 1 cup measuring cup, and we're going to measure out our flour. So we need 2 cups of flour. Okay, so here we go. 1 cup. And 2 cups. Excellent. Now we'll need 1 cup of salt. And of course, 1 cup of water. Okay, so now we have our dough mixture. So it just kind of looks like a sloppy sort of mess right now. So this is the fun part where we're gonna use our hands and we're gonna mix our ingredients with our hands. All right, so it feels kind of slimy and kind of has a soft texture. So we're just going to mix it all together until it's all one big dough ball. We don't want any dry spots or wet spots. We want it to be all equal. Okay, here we are. So now I'm going to take my dough out, and this is what it looks like. So it's sort of a solid, again, it's sort of like a Play-Doh consistency, maybe a little less soft, and this is perfect. Okay, so once your dough is formed and you have your dough ready, you're going to put it on the table. And we are going to take a rolling pin, but if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use your hands and just flatten your dough out. All right. So we are going to flatten our dough. You can use your ruler now and measure out 1 centimeter. That's how big you want your dough to be. That's how thick you want your dough to be, rather. 1 centimeter. So we're gonna roll this on out. Okay, so I think my dough is pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is take my hand and place it flat on the dough. And this is a little tricky. You're going to want to really smush your hand in there. Maybe take the other one, smush it in. If you have a grown-up that can help you smush your hand in, that would be great too. And that way, when you take your hand out, your handprint is on the dough. If you want, you can make another one, because you'll probably have some dough left over. So I'm gonna make 2 here. Now your hand is probably a lot smaller than mine, so yours is gonna look a little different, but you can see that my handprint is in the dough. And now what we're going to do is take our knife or our sharp object, and we're going to cut out our handprint, and we're gonna be really careful about that. So we're just gonna go around the outline and cut it out. So it shouldn't be too difficult because the dough is nice and soft. So it should be pretty easy to just go around the shape of your hand and cut it out. But of course, you can always ask a grown-up for help if you have trouble. Okay. All right. Perfect. So now I cut my handprint out and I'm going to pull away the extra dough. You can see what's left is my hand. Okay, excellent. This is turning out great. Okay, now the tricky part is getting your hand off the table. So you may want to use a spatula, or you can use that knife to pick up the hand off the table. But again, just be really, really careful because you don't want to disturb the dough too much. Okay, so now I have my hand. My hand and my fingers here are ready to go. So the good thing is you can kind of make this to be a shape that you like. So if your fingers are not totally flat, when I cut it out, they got a little messy. So I can kind of sit here and, you know, fix them up a little bit. So when you're done with that, you're going to get your bowl and you're going to lay your hand across the bowl. So there are a few different ways that your dough can dry. You can put this in the oven and cook it on a low temperature for a few hours, or you can put this out and just let it dry on its own. So I'm going to let it air dry. This will take a few days, so you might want to plan ahead of time and make sure that you have plenty of time before Father's Day. But when you decide what you're going to do, so if you put it in the oven, you want to make sure that you put it on top of a bowl that can go in the oven that is safe. If you don't put it in the oven, you can just use a ball or a regular cup and place your hand on that. So what I'm going to do is use this bowl here, and I'm going to place my hand on top. So I want that shape like a bowl. So if you make kind of cradle your hands, that's the kind of shape that we want. So that way your dad or grandfather, whoever you're making this for, can put things in the bowl. So we want that shape. So you're going to put your hand on top of the bowl to make that bowl shape. And as you can see, that's sort of what I did here. I kind of have that cupping shape of the bowl. And again, if you don't like how your hand came out, you can kind of like play with it a little bit, straighten the edges out, flatten it out if you like. Make sure that it looks the way you would like before it dries. And in a few days, I can't wait to see what my hand is gonna look like. So stay tuned. Miss Lauren here, ready for our next part of Father's Day handprint bowl. So my handprint has been sitting out for about 2 days now. And as you can see here, it's around the bowl and it's hardened. It's nice and hard and very fragile. So this next step of taking the hand off is really, really tricky. So make sure you do it nice and slow. Handprint is very fragile, so especially with the fingers, you want to make sure that you do this very, very carefully. Okay, so now I removed my handprint from my bowl, and I have it here on a paper plate. And you might want to put it on something, paper towels or newspaper, something that will keep the table clean, because in your grab and go kit you received some paint, some stickers, and some glitter. So everybody received different colors and different color glitter, different color paints. So now you can be as creative as you like. So you can paint your hand all one color, you can paint different colors, different fingers, different colors, and just have fun and be creative. This is all about your special father or grandfather or special father figure in your life. So have fun and be creative, and I'll show you my end result in just a minute. Okay, so here is my finished product of my Handprint bowl. I decided to paint it blue and add some multicolored dots, because I think my dad will really like that. Then I just sprinkled some gold glitter and added my gems, and here is my bowl. I am so excited to give it to my dad for Father's Day. I hope you enjoy doing this craft. I hope you have a lot of fun. I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day, and thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.